So I got this whole page of facts here about Somalia, and I'm just going to give you way too much information about the February 8th election. So Somalia has elections February 8th, and you have 14 candidates. 14 candidates for president. They have an indirect democracy where you have the senators in the parliament pick the president, and the senators in the parliament are actually picked by the community leaders, delegates of powerful clans in each member state. And so what? Well, there's 4 big clans, and then there's other minority tribes. And then you also have, some people say there's 4.5 clans, but some people, so maybe 5 clans, but a lot of the local Somalis the local Somalis are worried about the 6th clan, the international community, France, Russia, China, the U.S. Recently, Somalia and Kenya has had some gunfire on January 25th, Balad Hawa, 11 civilians were killed in Balad Hawa. And so you had Kenya, apparently, that's what Somalia is saying. Kenya denies this, but they're saying that Kenya is behind an attack in Jubaland, the Jubaland militia, and they fought Somali troops and cops. So there's tensions between Kenya and Somalia right now. You have a drought going on in Somalia. Al-Shabaab, let's talk a little bit about Al-Shabaab. For 10 years, Al-Shabaabs have been fighting on dearly. That's been the original enemy since the beginning. Now, I had heard that they could have been the good guy, at least in the beginning, because most of them were small business owners. So small business owners, Al-Shabaab actually means the youth. The youth. So we're attacking the youth of Somalia. Now, the war is going to radicalize them, and Al-Shabaab is going to ally themselves with Al-Qaeda, but not ISIS. So that's a little different than America. In Syria and Yemen, the United States government has allied themselves with ISIS and Al-Qaeda. So there's 5,000 to 10,000 Al-Shabaabs left, and they're threatening to attack the polls. Now, this, is an attack on democracy. I love elections, free, fair, transparent elections. It gives a conduit for the people's anger. It solves a lot of things. It's the great purifier. And so elections are coming to Somalia February 8th. And for Al-Shabaab, they shouldn't boycott the election. You should never, ever boycott the election. Sometimes the elections are just so one-sided, the opposition will boycott it, and then none of the people get elected, and then they have no power for many years. So let's see, there's a lot of things that's going on. 3 decades ago, Somalia had toppled a dictator. From 2000, there's been peaceful transfers of power every 4 years. Just a couple weeks ago, January 17th, before Donald Trump left office, he withdrew 700 U.S. troops. 2 days late, January 17th, and then we're going to airstrike Somalia on January 18th and January 19th. So we withdrew. That's fantastic. The boots on the ground are out, but we're still dropping airstrikes up until January 20th. So far, Joe Biden has not dropped any airstrikes on Somalia. No bombs, no Biden bombs on Somalia. We got Biden bombs in Syria. He's gearing up to get some Biden bombs in Venezuela, Palestine, Cameroon. So Somalia doesn't have the direct, basically they got in the Somalia Electoral College. They don't have a direct democracy. Somalia needs to, all the people of Somalia should vote for the president. They need universal suffrage there. That's a clear, gaping hole in their democracy. Some of the candidates that are running, you have Mohamed Abdullahi Farmajo. He's running for the 2nd term. This is the president. The president had won election February 2017. So President Mohamed Abdullahi Farmajo. So Mohamed Abdullahi. So President Farmajo. President Farmajo had promised free, fair, and transparent elections. And there's 5 federal states. So there are 7 major centers of power for Somalia. government state power, Somali state government power. So you have the president of Somalia, President Mohammed Abdullahi Farmajo, the mayor of Mogadishu, and then you have the presidents of the 5 federal states. And the 5 federal states, you have Puntland, and you have Jubaland, you have the central state of Somalia, the southwest state of Somalia, and Somaliland, apparently. You got a big old swath of Somaliland that still leaves out the Hakarat al-Shabaab al-Mujahideen. So I think they're in Jubaland, they're in the Galgala Mountains, so you have 5,000 to 10,000 al-Shabaabs left, and a lot of them are in the Galgala Mountains, which has me worried because you can't fuck with the mountain people. France couldn't do it to Haiti. We're still having problems in Afghanistan. In Appalachia, you had the moonshiners. There's a portion of Puntland. Puntland, this is how Somalia looks. And so you have Puntland right here, and you got Somaliland right up there. So this is the corner, right? This is the corner of Africa. If you see a map of Africa, right, it's got this, South Africa, West Africa. This is East Africa. And so East Africa is Puntland. Somaliland would be right here. Puntland would be right there. Central state of Somalia is right there. Southwest state of Somalia, and then Jubaland is right down here, and then the al-Shabaabs are right here along the coastline. So they got, seaports. Al-Shabaab has seaports. And in Jubaland, there's a lucrative seaport in Kismayo. So that's, Jubaland, my bad, not Jubaland. It's spelled Jubaland. But Jubaland, they got a lucrative seaport of Kismayo, so that's, a political thing there. Let's see, Somaliland. Is Somaliland one of the federal? No, they're saying, okay, so history. Puntland is an autonomous unionist state in the northeast of Somalia. It was formed in 1998. Galmudug is a federal state in central Somalia. Jubaland is in a federal state in the south of Somalia, November 2014. So those are your 5 federal states, right? Galmudug, Puntland, Jubaland, southwest state of Somalia, and now they're trying to form Hirshabelle State as a Somali state, October 6, 2016. So, Somaliland, it's a de facto independent country with limited recognition, located in the Horn, north of the Horn of Africa, adjacent to the Federal Republic of Somalia, a member state of the United Nations, which claims Somaliland as its own territory. So, okay, Somaliland is its own country. I did not know that. Somaliland comprises a northwestern portion of its territory and around 27.6% of its total claimed territory. Most countries worldwide recognize Somaliland as a breakaway or autonomous region of Somalia. In reality, Somalia has no effective sovereignty over Somaliland. So the 5 federal member districts are as followed: Galmudug, Hirshabelle, Jubaland, Puntland, and Southwest region. So those are the 5. The presidents of those 5 are the presidents of their own, federal state. You got one president of all Somalia, and then you got the mayor of Mogadishu. That is your seven major centers of Somali power. Now, your candidates, you have Mohammed Abdullahi Farmajo, you have Hassan Sheikh Mohammed, Sheriff Sheikh Ahmed. Both of these are former presidents. You have Abdirahman Abdishakir Ali Kher, who is a former prime minister. Then you got Omar Fiki, who was formerly known as Omar Abdikadir Ahmed. So Omar Fiki, I think Somalia should vote for Omar Fiki. He sounds like a Michael Money kind of man. I want to say 3rd grade, CMZ, Crittenden Mount Zion, Grant County, Kentucky. We had an election, so 3rd grade, we had an election, and there was 2 candidates. I don't even know who the other guy was. I don't even know what Michael Money stood for, but the man's name was Michael Money. So we all elected Michael Money to be our president. It was awesome, and he was one of us, and it was fantastic. So, based on names alone, I like Omar Rafiki. You can't put Faramaho back in, so you got to pick the leading opposition candidate. If you want to oust the incumbent, which is my general principle. Let's see here. What else? Al-Shabaab could be the good guys. That's terrible. 14 candidates. Let's see. Africa's got 13 national elections in 2021. And 5 African nations are at war. Chad, Ethiopia, Libya, Niger, and Somalia. So, what does all this mean? I think Somalia is going to do pretty good. They got a 2012 constitution, brand new constitution, so the Somali leaders agreed on it. That's fantastic news. So they've been running on a constitution for the last 8 years. They've had peaceful transfers of power every 4 years since 2000. Somalia seems to be getting their shit together. The Al-Shabaabs, I feel like the only real way forward for them is to integrate into civilization and win elections, because the international community does seem to be pinpointing Al-Shabaabs to be the enemy, whether it's, right or wrong. And so Al-Shabaabs are going to be, maybe they could, I don't know, maybe they'll form their own country or something, but I would like to know if, see, this is the thing, right? I don't know if Al-Shabaabs, are we on the right side of this war, America? Hey, America, your government's are we on the right side of this war? And so this is why, so what my point to all this is that I'm glad that America has withdrew. I hope Joe Biden doesn't drop any more bombs, no airstrikes, no boots on the ground. Let Somalia take care of Somalia. They got an elections February 8th in 6 days. So Somalia has elections in 6 days. 700 troops has already gone. Trump did the airstrikes, but Biden is not doing the airstrikes or boots on the ground. So last but not least, the way that Somalia picks their president is they have the senators and the parliamentarians elected. 275 parliamentarians are going to be elected by 101 delegates, which are nominated by clan elders. So 101 delegates are going to basically choose, I guess, 3 representatives per delegate, 275 parliamentarians, and then 59 senators in Somalia are elected by state assemblies. So once the parliamentarians and the senators are elected, they get together and then they vote for the president. So it's just like the Electoral College. It's the indirect vote. The people's vote does not matter when it comes to the president of Somalia, just like in America. And the founders wanted it that way. They wanted Congress to pick the president. They didn't want the people. And then eventually, the damn people got the universal voting. So, did we radicalize Al-Shabaab into Al-Qaeda? And then are they, we're allies with Al-Qaeda in Syria and Yemen. So, hell, maybe they might be our friends. Maybe we could get Al-Shabaab to help, topple Assad and genocide Yemen, and help Saudi Arabia genocide Yemen, since those are seems to be the goal. Steal oil out of Syria, help Saudi Arabia genocide Yemen. So, yeah. We're not doing a war on terror anymore. Let's knock that shit off. The war on terror said the enemies are the enemies that attacked us on 9/11, which is Al-Qaeda. And Saudi Arabia, if you want to pick a nation state, but definitely not Iran, North Korea, Iraq, Afghanistan, Pakistan, Syria, Yemen. None of those countries, Libya, none of those countries, Venezuela, none of them attacked us on 9/11 whatsoever. This is just a war for empire. Conquest has nothing to do with the war on terror anymore. The war on terror is, I actually came around to terrorism as a terrible tactic. Whether you're on the, right side or wrong side, when there's dead, innocent civilians, it's kind of hard to be on, the so-called right side. You killed innocent civilians? Fuck you. That's terrorism. Killing innocent civilians is terrorism. For political reasons. So, what? Well, Puntland and Jubaland, I'm going to mention this last thing. Jubaland and Puntland, they were sitting there saying that they were not going to participate in this elections, but they did appoint themselves 8 members each. And so each one of those region nations, Puntland, Jubaland, have 8-member electoral commissioners. So that's good. That means they're participating in the electoral process. They got 6 fucking days, and 100 clan leaders basically choose the entire parliament. So they, pick your delegates, and you get a lot of representation. The senators are going to be picked by the state assembly, so that's a little bit different. But it looked like Puntland and Jubaland wasn't going to participate, but now they are. So Jubaland, Puntland, all 5 federal states are going to be part of this February 8th election. Have I covered every single point on here? It looks like I have. Yeah, so there you go. Go out there and go vote, Somalia, February 8th. I'll be paying attention. I think it'd be exciting. I think the conversations, we should consolidate the move to withdraw, the U.S. troops. I think that's good for America. I think that's good for Somalia. And let's, yeah, good luck, Somalia. I hope Al-Shabaab doesn't blow up any of the stations. I hope they actually, go civilized and just go vote, but that doesn't seem to be the case. And really, I feel like we need an international court at this point just to determine each one of these damn regional situations. Who is the bad guy? Who's the good guy? Is it, a lot of times it's not that cut and dry, but sometimes it is. Sometimes it is. So there's way too much information about the February 8th, 2021 Somalia elections. Peace.